Hi, it's Kathy from Raven Vintage. Welcome back to my craft room. Come on in and welcome back to 100 Ways to Use Scraps. And I thought today's project, number 57, might be a little boring, a collage belly band. So let's ramp it up a little bit and let's do a double belly band just to keep it a little bit interesting. So this is the page I'm going to be using. So I'm keeping, not that it would matter, but if this was my journal and this is what I was doing, I would keep these colors in mind. But because I don't care, it may or may not match. It doesn't matter because this is my book of ideas. How's your book coming? I'm still not really too gatored yet, gator mouth, but we still have room. I'm still happy with that. And I don't care. If it ends up being like this, I'm happy with that. I am. A lot of you answered my question about how you're feeling about collage, and thank you for sharing. It's nice to hear that some of you are more comfortable with it now, or that some of those design principles were helping. The rule of threes, the, using contrast, whether that's text direction, this way and this way, or light and dark, or busy and quiet, or a pattern and a solid, whatever those are. I see that those are helping. And also a few of you mentioned that you like the color palette idea. So thank you also for that. I use that trick for many things. I find it very helpful. Even designing printables sometimes, just to get the color palette right. Okay, you can do a triple if you want. I think I'm going to be fine with a double. Yeah, I'm going to do a double belly band. Why not? So I have my rip bin right beside me here, so we will grab some colors. Stand by. We will add some focal points to this possibly. We'll see where we get. So I have not enough paper here, I don't think, to do this and this, but I do want to try to coordinate a little bit. So perhaps I did have this out and then I put it back. I think I'll grab that again. So I'm just going to start with the bigger piece, keeping in mind that part of it's going to be covered up. So that's fine too. This is my other belly band. I don't want to end up ripping it by mistake because you know me, I'll get chatting and then I'll forget what's what. Okay, I'm just going to start with that, I think. Let me just try this alternating thing and see what happens. I just don't want it, because there are going to be two things, I don't want it to be too busy. Now keep in mind, once you have a belly band and then you put something in the belly band, whether it's under this one or that one, it kind of covers up what you've done. So let's not get too carried away about it. And of course, when you're going to do a focal image, you'll only do it on the top part, not the bottom part. Okay, well, let's just start gluing. So it's another gray day. It's a little cool. Come on, spring. I know you can do it. Just want to encourage it to keep coming. Keep coming, spring. Not quite big enough. Where's my biggest one? There we go. Yeah, I think I'm going to like this because we have a solid and a pattern, a dark and a light. Well, it's not super dark, but I just want it to be enough to go around and alternate around. Hopefully this works out. I'm not going to test it first. We're just going to assume it's going to work. How does that sound? See, it's funny. See, you can pull this. It's gray, but when it's on here next to this gray blue, it kind of looks blue. So just looking at colors, it's something I remember that intrigued me quite a long time ago. I think I was one of my first apartments I had, and my sister, the one that I'm always talking about that's artistic, and thank you, by the way, those of you that say you're artistic too. I appreciate that. I just think of her and how she has the ability to draw and sit down and paint something. And I'm amazed at those of you that can paint and how you start with the back layer, like the background, and then you add the depth or the shadowing or whatever, and then you come forward with all your layers of paint, and eventually you have this, you know, image that you painted. And it just amazes me how you were able to think through all those layers and start at the back and move forward. I think that's amazing. I really do. It's quite a talent. So I guess when I think of like an artist in that respect, I don't really think of myself as an artist, but like I need to do graphic arts, or I need tools, I need things. But back to what I was going to say, one of the things that really intrigued me about art and color and composition, because my sister was the artist, it didn't really float my boat, you know, was, let's see, I'm sorry, I just got to think here for a second, find something big enough. There we go. I had my first apartment, and my sister came over and she's like, okay, we're going to decorate. And she, of course, knew. So we took one of my, I don't even remember what it was, a framed print or picture of some sort. You know, I probably didn't have a lot back then. And she said, okay, so from that picture, let's just call it a painting. She picked out colors from the painting and then went and found things I had and helped me put my room together. It was a living room, I guess, and coordinate those colors, all pulled from that one picture. And then it looked like it went together. I'm like, wow, that's cool. I was impressed by the whole concept of how that would come together just from one picture or one painting. And then your cushions, your couch cushions match, and your blanket that you threw, like a throw blanket or something. And this all of a sudden it's like, oh, it does work. There's something to this. Yeah, pretty neat. So I do like to watch interior design shows from time to time. Just for that simple fact, I like to see what they pull together. It's interesting. Am I an interior designer? No. It takes me eons to decide what to put up in my house. I'll have a blank wall forever. I don't know. I just get paralysis. Designer paralysis. Like I just cannot. It just doesn't come naturally to me. Okay, this is all I have left of this one piece. So that didn't work out real well, Kathy. So what I'm going to do is divide this in two so I can put something in between here to make this work. I'll bring this one down a bit. I'll move this one up a bit. That. So I can still have something in between here. Okay. Everything's fixable. Right. Okay. So this is coming together very quickly. And now I'm just going to fill in, because most of this is going to be behind, not all of it, but most of it is going to be behind the belly band. The one on top. You know what I mean? So let's just, and I can always overlap if I need to, like let it hang over things to make sure it's covered. Okay, just about done here. So I have out some stamps. My inks are close by. I thought that would be something we could do. With our scraps. And I'm just going to leave my edges for now, just in case. Kind of like this idea back here. Yeah, I like that. Didn't mean to cut my belly band. Okay, that's good. Okay, so what else can I use to make this match? A little bit of blue, perhaps. Yeah, let's get a little bit of this blue in here. I don't know, I'm just winging it. I don't really have a plan. I'm just trying to bring in a little bit, not a lot, just to make it seem a little cohesive. So I'm getting rid of the gold. I'm just going to keep some of this blue here, like this. Let me cut this edge off so it's not throwing us off. Okay, now it's blending in. However, like I said, because it's a belly band, and then once we put something in here, that's where your contrast is going to come in. So this will now match somewhat, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried that these two are kind of blending in together because there is this double belly band. But let's ink it though, at least. And then let's add a few things. We could do some scripts. Actually, see on the I'm just going to go right across there. Right down. It's very pretty. There, I quite like that. That's very pretty. It does kind of set it apart from the rest. And then this here, we could also stamp. Let's get something kind of dainty. Falling snowflake flowers, or flowers it says. Oh, either falling snowflakes like this, or it's flowers like that. I get it. Somebody wrote that on there. And I'm going to go with the black. Just over to the edges like this. Here and there. That is cute. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3. I'm going to leave that. And then now let's come in with some, am I going to like that there? It'll get covered up when something's inside the belly band, but maybe I like it across the bottom, right here. I mean, it is Easter. There we go. Okay, and then to balance that, let's just do some dots up here in the corner. There we go. Balance, balance. Okay. A few little flowers. I like how that came together. So again, keep in mind when you have something in here, this will really pop off. But I feel like now this is where we would put our focal point. Just going to leave her because I think she's pretty on her own. I don't need to do, unless I come in after. So I'm going to leave room behind her and on the sides in case I decide to add something else. But right at this very moment, I'm thinking she's a standalone. I think she's good. So let's just do that for now. And that's just going on this piece. So I like that her hand and her arm cover the whole width of this. And if I tilt her just so, her head is centered. Good. I like that a lot. Okay, and then of course on here, our belly band, we just want to do the top and bottom. Okay. You see what I mean? Like there's just going to be something back there that's going to cover this. So probably this is going to be the best. Okay, let's get it in our book and then see what it looks like. So this is just a little bit taller than my page, so I'm going to trim it a little. and re-ink the bottom. There we go, that fits better. And then we'll just glue this down like a belly band. You know this trick? If you put something, you glue this down and your belly band and it's just too loose and things are just falling out and they're not staying in there snug, you just need to bring your glue line up in closer. So you would need to, if it's too loose, you would need to just stick your glue bottle underneath and glue here and here. You would need a wider swath of glue, and that will hold it closer to the page, and then things won't slide out. That's how you fix that. Okay, so this is what I was thinking. That's not quite wide enough, but this would hold a pretty big piece. But you could start staggering, and this would be really pretty. So you get kind of this effect going like that. Or by size, so we've got something like this, like this. Don't really have the right pieces right now, but I think you get the idea that it could be layered up very beautifully in your journal, depending on what you're adding to your journal. So we could have a piece like a postcard that's 4x6 would fit perfectly behind this wide belly band. Very nice. I like that very much. So that's number 57, our collage belly band. So hopefully it was a little more interesting doing the double belly band. You can do a triple belly band if you want. Lots of different ways to do belly bands, but with the collage, using up our scraps, we can stamp on it, we can ink it up, add ephemera to it, and just make it a little more special. Yes. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. I look forward to crafting with you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye.